So we were over at this football game, and this was in high school, of course, and we were some hecklers, and we began to yell sweet nothings in the ears of the opponents, except loudly. And then the parents reached out to us, and they said, if you do that again, we're going to call the police. And I'm thinking to myself, we're in high school. We're just having fun.
Right.
So we continue to do it, and guess what happens? The police get called, and we get escorted out of the game. And then we get banned from doing that ever again. So there was my high school for you in 40 seconds. But let me tell you, or let me ask you, how was your week? And before we ask, I think it's appropriate that we actually address where we are and what we're doing. Because last week, if you remember, we were on a couch in person.
We were on a couch. We're not on a couch this morning. We are on campus at the University of Florida, and we have the beautiful College of Medicine building that I can't remember the name of right now. It's behind us.
Malachowski,
I believe he's Russian. He donated a lot of money to get this building built. But it's Saturday morning, it's game day, and really I'll say this throughout my whole life, the best place to be on a Saturday in the fall is right here in Gainesville, Florida. So it's just the truth.
That's a powerful truth. Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
And we have a special guest with us today.
Oh my gosh, I totally forgot he was sitting over here.
What's up, everyone? I'm Jackson. I'm Bo's brother, Brett's brother-in-law. My week has been phenomenal.
What have you done?
This week, I have done work, school work, regular work, slinging beans.
Slinging beans, but you grind them first.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So what was the most complicated order that you had? He's a barista, if he didn't mention that. What was the most complicated order you had this week?
That's a good question. I'd say the most complicated order I had this week required me to make a drink. She wanted 75% sweet. And, that doesn't sound very complex, but there's a lot of elements to a drink.
Right.
75% sweet on top of being half caffeinated. So you got to split the shot, then you got to do some math. Math's not my strong suit. So neither is counting, and I do both of those things.
She ordered a drink that required a dang math formula to get it made.
Use dang Pythagorean theorem to make that drink.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it sounds like it was a difficult week for you, but I'm glad we're here on the weekend. So
I'm happy to be here.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Bo, how was your week?
My week was excellent. It was long, busy. Played pickleball twice.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Played at a new place in Alachua.
Okay.
Was
your other pickleball location getting a little toxic for you?
It was. No, it was late at night, and we had nowhere to go. And usually when it's late at night, it's either video games or straight to bed. And I figured I needed to get some physical exercise in my body, because I hadn't hit my 30 days yet. So it was time. We did our 30 minutes of exercise.
30 days of exercise?
30 days of straight-up exercise.
And it was fantastic. Met some new people. Shout out to Larry and Forrest.
Oh.
Forrest is a woman.
Oh, I was not expecting that.
I wasn't either, but it's a cool name.
Yeah.
Forrest. She was good at pickleball. Larry was also good. Larry was a hard hitter. I'll say that much.
Okay. A Serena type.
Yeah. Larry was a man, however. Larry was not a woman.
Larry was not a woman.
But, yeah, it was a great time. Went with a couple friends. Then, we're here. Y'all came into town. We enjoyed the sunset here at the Ben Hill Griffin Stadium, which is, what, 3 miles away from us right now.
It's a short walk. It's probably 8 minutes, depending on if you hit the lights.
That makes sense.
At the intersections.
And we're 5 minutes from the restroom.
Huge.
Which is important.
Huge.
Massive.
That's already been huge for you.
It has been used. Look, you get up first thing in the morning. We got out here, and I'll just go out and say it. We woke up at 4:45. We got out here on campus, staked our claim, marked our territory, whatever you want to call it, because that's what you got to do to get the best primo spots. We're under a live oak that's probably 180 years old.
But we're not in Live Oak.
We're not in Live Oak. We're in Gainesville. But we're under a beautiful oak tree that offers a lot of shade when it gets warm. But yeah, I just love being on campus. Saturday mornings, as the sun comes up, it gets more lively. People are moving around, and the town just awakens,
Oh, yeah, for sure. And the homecoming parade was yesterday.
True.
But I did want to hone in on, you said we woke up at 4:45 for this.
Yep.
And we woke up at 4:45 just so we could talk to you and record this podcast. So if that doesn't warrant some merch sales or some subscriber-only content subscriptions, then
True.
I don't know why you're here.
Or just a check in the mail.
Yeah. USPTO is the
Come
greatest
on.
thing in the United States. Shout out Kathy Davis.
That's right.
Mm.
That's right. Does she wear the safari hat? A lot of post men and post women are getting away from the old safari hat that they used to wear when doing the mail.
That
Well, here's
bucket.
the deal with Aunt Kathy is she's retired.
Well,
So-
right.
I do think she wore the safari hat.
That's sick.
She
but she
seems like
retired
the type
along
to
with-
wear the safari hat.
Yeah.
She's always looking for an adventure.
She could pull it off. She's probably got it in like a case, like a trophy case.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
As like a not memorial, but
That and all the letters she stole from other people.
right, stolen mail.
That's exactly right.
And her safari hat is kind of enshrined there in her living room. So
Yeah, that's a good word. Let me ask you this then: what kind of sports have y'all been seeing this week?
I'll be honest, this week for me, I was working a bunch, didn't take in a whole lot of sports content, so I'll just talk about the sports that are going on today that I know about. The Florida Gators are playing Vanderbilt. Our starting running back, Trevor Etienne, is listed as questionable, so that is never a good sign. But we do have, our number 2 running back is pretty decent as well. I wouldn't be surprised if they slid Graham Mertz over into the starting running back position and started a backup because we're here against Vanderbilt. I think it's going to be a
RB1.
pretty cheese team. So,
You're going QB1 to RB1.
yep, he's
Sure.
quick and he's shifty and he can take a hit.
I would
not
love
in
to
his
see
hand.
that.
Not in his hand.
I don't know. We'll find out at 4:00 today.
Mm.
So, how about you, Jackson? What sports have you been taking in?
I've been intaking some Chelsea Football Club.
Oh yeah,
Go Blues. And I just, some football here and there. Oklahoma State, Kansas State last night, great game. Sad ending for Kansas State, but it is what it is.
yep.
And we'll see today. The merch I'm wearing may be misleading, but I'm a TCU fan, and last week was pretty rough. So we'll see about this week, going in an away game against Iowa State.
A fierce opponent.
A fierce opponent. That's what I thought about West Virginia. You'd think home game, blackout,
Right.
7 p.m.,
Right.
you'd win.
You would be wrong.
You'd be wrong in the terms of TCU against West Virginia last weekend. Heartbreak.
There you go. That is heartbreaking. And you kind of confused me there. You went from Chelsea football to American college football. So I think I'm tracking with you a little better.
That's
now.
good. That's good.
And 2 West Virginia players had season-ending, if not career-ending, injuries during
That's
that game.
Suspicious. No.
My phone, there was one. My phone was kind of dying, so I couldn't really see what happened. But it was off of a punt return, and TCU dude calls fair catch or whatever within the 5. Maybe he let it bounce. I don't know. I just remember there was a tackle made. West Virginia dude was hurt, and the cart was on the field. And, we just got to pray for that man.
That's right. It's never good when the cart comes out.
You hate to see it.
You do. I'll tell you what I've been seeing. Aside from the Texas-Oklahoma game that would have already happened at this point of our listeners listening.
Right.
And I'm just going to throw out a prediction.
Oh, the score prediction.
Score prediction.
Let's hear it.
And I'd love to hear yours. I love Texas. But I think it's going to be a nail-biter. It's either going to be a nail-biter or Texas is going to blow them out of the water. And I almost want to say the nail-biter leans toward Oklahoma because they're the underdog.
Right.
And Texas beat them so badly last year. But I don't want to say that. So I'm going to go 38. I'm going to go back on my word. I'm actually going to go 24-22. Wow. Texas wins.
Okay.
Wow.
How about you, Jackson?
Well, I mean, we got General Booty at Oklahoma.
Okay.
Against Steve Sarkisian's crew and his depth at the quarterback range. I'm saying throw in some double pass trickery, quarterback at receiver.
Okay.
I'm going, that's how the game's going to get won. I'm going 21-14 Texas.
Wow. Okay. Here's my thoughts on the old Red River Showdown. Texas has always been Texas, right?
Blowing leads.
They blow leads. That is
It's their specialty.
Signature move by Texas, right? They've played very well. They're very talented. They've recruited well the past couple of years. And this is just the type of hype that Texas thrives on. They build you up, and you know this better than anyone. We've talked about this before. They build you up. They go, what are they, 5-0 now?
Oh, yeah.
They're 5-0. They're ranked in the top 5, I think, in the country. I have a feeling they come out strong, get up by 2 touchdowns on Oklahoma, and I think a switch flips, and I think Oklahoma comes roaring back in the second half. I've got Oklahoma 34, Texas 28.
That's huge.
It is.
That's a lot like the game 2 years ago where Texas was up 28-7.
And that was like halfway through the maybe not halfway through the fourth quarter, but there was not that much time left, and Oklahoma scored a bunch.
Well, I'll tell you, that was one of the worst games I've seen. And it was classic Texas. That year they went on to blow 6 halftime leads. 6 of them. That's just pitiful.
Look,
enough of Texas, though.
I'm saying I'm going off of my empirical data that I've got,
of course,
in my mind that I've seen.
And that's the thing. Texas hasn't really started off hot this year, so we've yet to see what it looks like to click
right
in the first and second quarters. But I'm excited. The good thing is Texas's defense is ions better than what they were the previous 4, 5, 6, 7 years. So
what is the difference between an ion and an eon?
An ion is a television channel. Often rerun shows like Hawaii Five-0.
Okay.
I don't know what eons is.
Gotcha.
But I said ions on purpose, so.
Okay. Well, that's good to know.
So here's another thing. That kind of took a turn.
It took a turn for the Texas.
It did, but it wasn't expected. Here's what I really want to talk about, because cousin Andrew, he sent me a link here that said Georgia high school athletics is enabling players to profit off of their name, image, and likeness.
Ooh. High school in Georgia.
What do y'all think of this?
I think the state of Georgia has some other stuff to worry about this weekend. That's what I think. I think they're sure you can worry about high school. Let the kids play. Let them make money. But they need to worry. State of Georgia needs to worry about Kentucky.
That's fair. I think my big question is, how can a high school player possibly gain enough notoriety to where an NIL deal would make sense, if that makes sense. Because I feel like if you go to a random, let's say the Whataburger by Milton High School. It's got some random Milton High School, like a billboard has some random Milton High School football player's picture up there. That's not really going to sway people to eat Whataburger more. You know what I'm saying? I just don't see, unless you're like a top 100 recruit and you're getting a lot of attention from schools.
Right.
I don't really see how that would make too much sense. But look, if we're going to do it in college, do it in high school, do it in Little League.
Maybe elementary.
Do it in elementary school.
Start it up in Mighty Mites.
Yeah, might as well. There's a bunch of 6-year-olds running around.
Well, what's the difference between the 6-year-olds and Mighty Mites and Baby Gronk, right?
Well, yeah, I guess if you're famous enough, you should be able to make money, right?
That's the truth.
Maybe the Whataburger in Milton, Florida needs to get Baby Gronk on their billboards.
That'd be a top dollar item. I don't know if they're able to afford that one.
True.
That's the truth.
But Georgia is the only high contending state that produces a lot of 5-star, 4-star athletes that is doing this. So like Florida, Texas,
California,
they are not doing it.
That is interesting because obviously, whenever I think of high school talent as far as football goes, I think Florida and Texas 1 and 2 right there.
Which one are you putting at 1?
Oh, Florida. It's undisputed. Florida. You look at the past, let's say 10 national championship teams. Look at how many guys come out of South Florida that are on the. Ohio State wins a national championship. 80% of their.
X.
Steal our recruits, and if they're able to, they ought to. So, what have you been watching as far as reality television goes?
Well, just like the past 4 weeks, it's been Southern Charm mainly.
Yep.
And then 30 seconds of Below Deck Mediterranean because that's what happens after Southern Charm.
Mm-hmm.
And so, one moment, my other.
Golly, dude. Why not just sneeze? You have to yell.
I was trying to.
Just like the grandfather.
Sorry. So I've been watching Southern Charm, and we got to see some developments. I'll say that much. Like we ended last episode of Southern Charm, Olivia and Taylor spoke with one another. Taylor told Olivia what her and Austin were going through. That broke Olivia's heart.
Yep.
JT, once again, coming in hot.
Coming in so hot.
When he gets informed of what Olivia told Taylor, or what Taylor told Olivia, JT was a big "I told you so."
Mm-hmm.
Can you believe that?
Right.
Oh my goodness, dude.
That's his personality.
That's kind of what he
though.
said.
Yeah.
And then Shep and Austin. I'm excited to see where that conversation goes, because the episode ended with Veritas. Something about Viva. The wine brings out the truth.
Vino. In vino veritas.
In vino veritas.
In wine, there is truth. That's right. Yeah, but I thought the more interesting ending of the show was Shep says, "Did you hook up with her?" And Austin, in classic Austin fashion, dances around the question and really implicates himself at the same time and says, "Define hooking up," which is never what you want to hear.
I think that's the worst thing he could say.
Oh, for sure.
Because you could assume innocence until you ask that. Then you kind of recognize that something went on, whether it was actual sex or not.
And he has some sort of conscious, he's aware that what he did was wrong.
Correct.
And by saying that, he's telling everyone, "I know what I did was wrong." Whereas he could have told the truth. He could have been a man and told the truth. He could have tried to play dumb. He could have lied. But I think by saying define hooking up, it just kind of shows how manipulative the man really is. But I think just him skipping Taylor's event altogether was pretty childish. Although his hangout time with Whitney did seem like a fun time. I'll say that.
Whitney is a rock star.
Whitney is quite literally a rock star.
So if you haven't seen this episode of Southern Charm, listeners, I would recommend it.
Yeah, we probably should have given a spoiler, but that wasn't really spoilers.
Well, we told them 4 weeks ago that this was going to happen.
Yeah,
so
yeah. They know. They know what to
forgiven.
expect. They know what to expect.
What
So-
about you, Jackson? What kind of reality television have you been watching?
Well, I'm not big on y'all's kind of reality TV. However, I've been watching a lot of Halloween Wars.
Halloween Wars?
Well,
okay.
you see, it's fall, it's October. It's time to get into that Halloween spirit. And, you know, what better way than just watching people carve pumpkins and make cakes?
So it's kind of like Cake Wars.
Yeah, but Halloween style.
Okay.
And just watching people, like, these clowns had 45 minutes to carve a pumpkin into, well, it was based off The Exorcist. And so you had to carve a pumpkin of a demon that could have the perspective of a human and trick humans. And so they, out of sugar, made this bubble bath with a goblin and then gremlin.
Straight goblin mode.
Straight up goblin mode. Super gremlin even.
Yeah.
And they put that gremlin with a selfie. And it was just this beautiful woman.
Oh.
Because it's trapping people on social media. And I said, how do you do that in 45 minutes? But they did it. And it's just impressive.
I feel like that whole concept of, you know, the selfie with the gremlin, goblin, whatever, I feel like that would just, for me to conceive in my mind, would take weeks.
And it took them all of 5 minutes.
Right.
That's
and then
what's
they made
insane.
it out of dang sugar after that.
That's sugar and Rice
pumpkins
Krispies, man.
That's insanity.
It is.
So you're saying if you sit down and your YouTube TV only comes up with 2 channels and it's Bravo with Southern Charm or, I don't know, Food Network with Halloween Wars, whatever you watch it on, what are you choosing there?
Well, I feel like if I knew the show, if I knew Southern Charm more, I'd probably go Southern Charm, but I don't. And, you know, Halloween Wars is a fresh start every single episode.
Okay.
So you just you jump right in, but
It's
you're
a-
not missing a beat.
It's a new competition every
Exactly.
time. Okay.
Well, every time I've watched.
okay.
But so I'm always going to pick the Food Network,
That's fair. That's fair.
but that's where I am right now.
Well, that's beautiful. I feel like we've got kind of 2 different perspectives. You know, the Bravo world is a little more dramatic, perhaps.
Yeah.
And you're in the Great British Baking Show type world.
I'm in that Oi Brovin, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Okay. That's where we are.
That is where we are. And it's a great time to let you know that this episode is sponsored by the University of Florida.
That's right.
They reached out to us and asked us if we could come to this Vanderbilt game and record our podcast in front of their brand new building, the Malachowski Hall. And what their brand new building does is it allows for people to come to school here in the medical field and learn about medicine and then go out into the world and care for people in need of medical needs. So what we are here to do is promote Malachowski Hall. And if you're listening in a senior in high school, a junior in high school, or a parent of a senior or junior in high school, feel free to reach out to us, and we'd love to connect you to the Medical Schools Admissions Council.
That's right. Yeah, no, I just think it's, you know, whenever you walk by the building on the outside, it's very pristine. You look inside and there's big LED screens. You can just tell, you know, the university is on the forefront, the cutting edge, if you will, of technological innovation. I believe the Wall Street Journal just came out several weeks ago saying #1, I don't know if it was public school?
Public school in the nation.
#1 public school in the nation. And as you can see, we got folks on scooters behind us, bikes. The campus life is absolutely popping right now.
Yeah.
So it's a great place to be.
I'd say.
Yeah.
In the words of Nacho Libre, and we all know he was talking about the University of Florida.
Yep.
He said, "It's the best.
It is the best.
It's the best."
It is. And it's a $115 million building. So, if that doesn't make you feel safe, then I don't know what will.
The University of Florida cares about this building this much. Imagine how much it cares about you.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So what kind of song? One song that y'all been listening to that's been really groovy lately.
Jackson, I'll let you take this one.
Oh, I'll take this one gladly. Songs that have been, well, it all starts with this band I found called Top House.
House?
Top House.
Okay.
They're from two dudes from Montana, and they're both music majors now living in Nashville. They're making music together, and they are just so happy. And they got like it might be a fiddle, might be a banjo, I don't know, but they are going absolutely crazy. And Sirens, the song Sirens by Top House is by far the song of the week for me.
Okay. I'll have to check that out. We probably need to get you around, fiddles and banjos, because they don't really sound too similar, but...
They don't, but I don't know, so I'm trying to be more...
You're trying to key in on what's in the song.
That's right.
I understand. Okay. My song of the week is Duo by Ben Rector. It's an absolute banger. You put me on the live version of it, which is so good. It's got that guitar solo in the middle. But what brought it to mind was for Molly's birthday, I got us tickets to go see Ben Rector in Orlando. And so we've been kind of listening to their song or to his songs, trying to get prepped for this concert. I think it's like an acoustic concert, just him and a piano or him and a guitar. So it's not going to have any crazy lights or anything, but yeah, it's just good stuff. He's incredibly talented.
That's an understatement.
That's the truth.
Well, the song I've been listening to is Thou, O Lord by the Prestonwood Choir.
Oh, man.
And if you ever need a song to dance to and scream to at the same time, there's no better than Thou, O Lord. Also, any Prestonwood Choir song is basically a banger. So I would highly recommend the Prestonwood Choir, Thou, O Lord.
That's a fun one on road trips with the boys, because you'd be like, you take the high part, you take the middle part. I don't know the words, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'll take the low part.
Who needs the terminology? We
Who
knew what you
needs
meant.
terminology?
We knew what you meant.
Yeah. And you just scream the different parts, and it's so good because you're worshiping at the same time, right?
Yeah.
That's the truth.
Well, gentlemen, this has been an absolute gift, I'd say.
I would say as well.
It has been.
Any final thoughts, comments, regards?
I just want to say that I'm thankful to be able to be out here with my brother-in-laws. We're going to get the old Blackstone fired up here in a couple minutes, get some pancakes, eggs, bacon, things like that going. So shout out Grandma and Pawpaw for the Blackstone. We're going to get it popping here real quick, and then we're going to have some other food later. So it's going to be a blast, and I'm excited for it.
I'm just excited to eat.
Amen.
I mean, I think that's been the motto my whole life. But here we are. We've been up since 4:30, 4:45.
That's it.
Been waiting on about 9:15 to get here for quite some time.
That tummy's grumbling.
Tummy's grumbling, and McGriddles are coming. That's what I'm always saying.
That's lovely. That's lovely.
That is lovely. Well, like always, we are deep and generous lovers, and if you have not had a chance to buy some merch, please do, because we would love your money in our bank accounts.
Amen.
Quite frankly.
With that, we'll see you in 7 days. Take care of yourselves.